Mr. Pete Hoffman is running for mayor. And you know what the yellow card means, 15 seconds.
I figured this one out, Sharon. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the Waimea Community Association for putting this on. One other person I need to thank, and that's my wife, Joan, who's sitting in the back there at my table. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone who can put up with me for 52 years certainly deserves another round of applause. I heard she was up for canonization, but I'm not too sure of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a website, www.friendsofpetehoffman.com. And if you're interested in the background and everything else, in addition to what Sherry said, and some of the organizations that I've belonged to in the interim since I left the county council, please take a look at that website. If any of you have specific questions regarding the background and the reason why I'm running, maybe we can address those at the tables as I go around. And the reason I'm saying that is I want to spend a little time on what I think are the issues in this particular election. The issues that you, ladies and gentlemen, have got to decide upon for as far as the next mayor is concerned. In my opinion, unless and until this county begins to address the fact that more than 25% of our people on this island live at or below the federal poverty level, we are not going to make much progress economically, or at least as far as our social life is concerned. Until we understand that the county must begin to lead in this effort, regardless of all the other things that have been done by the previous administrations, no matter how well intended, it will be of little value. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I have a silver bullet that's going to solve poverty. I'm not. But I do think there are a couple of things the county can do to reduce the scourge of poverty on this island, and I'd like to present them to you. Here's, as mayor, what I'd like to do. First of all, I think we have to vastly improve our investment in our agricultural sector. It is appalling to me that we don't have more people working in this area, as even some of the speakers have indicated before, putting forward different programs. I'm happy to discuss in detail how this would happen, but I think it's incumbent on us to realize that there are all too many people on this island who look to the food basket and other faith-based organizations, even the ones that you have here in Waimea, for example, who look to these organizations to subsidize on a regular basis food for themselves and their family. I think we have to do something about that. I'm also appalled in a way that we don't have more federal grants, federal and state grants, for our agricultural sector. And I think we can do this. This is not beyond the realm of imagination that we should be able to feed ourselves in my lifetime. And in the long term, look at how we can feed and be the breadbasket for the state of Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to address these questions as we move around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. And now we have Mr. Jawali Lau running for mayor. Yellow card, 15 seconds.
Hello, Mike Ako. Thank you again for inviting me to come and participate in tonight's forum. As I said, Jawali Lau, born and raised on Oahu, came to live on this beautiful island 20 years ago where I reside in Kailua Kona. You know, my whole life has been serving the public. I'm a public server. I started off working with vulnerable children, families, and youths as an educator and in a nonprofit world. And for the past 7 years, have been working as Deputy and Managing Director for the County of Hawaii, overseeing such projects as the Kamakua Nui Workforce Development House, the Waimea District Park over here that is being built, over in North Kohala, the repair of the Isioka Gym and Keokea Park after the terrible earthquake that we had. So I've had a lot of that type of hands-on experiences in getting things done. But you know, being in government, I've seen what the decision government makes affects all of us and our families. And that is the reason why I'm stepping in and wanting to continue to serve the public along the way. Guided by certain values, such as respect, such as being honest, such as being humble, and such as having aloha. These values was taught to me by my family and my parents, which I really use to guide me in my everyday life. but I will weigh my decisions that I make every day by looking and finding a balance, to balance what is pono, to balance what is right for our environment, for our economy, and for our people. As your mayor, I would focus on addressing and tackling the homeless crisis that is having island-wide. I will also take a look at what we can do to improve, further improve our permitting, building permitting process, and certainly take a hard look at increasing the repairs and maintenance of our county roads, facilities, and parks along the way. But again, all of this cannot be done if we're not about to work together. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed the most in my career, no matter what it was. The challenge of getting everybody around the table on both sides of the aisles to come together, to come to a common agenda, and working together in the spirit of Lau Lima, in the spirit of collaboration, to do things not for each other, but to take care of our community. And that's the most important thing to me. This election is not about Jawali Lau. This election is about us. This election is about our community. Mahalo.
Thank you, Mr. Lau. And now we have also running for mayor, candidate Shannon McCandless. 15 seconds at the yellow.
Aloha, hiahi. My name is Shannon McCandless. I'm a resident of Waimea. So many of the faces here tonight look so familiar to me. So I reside here. My family is Kama'aina here. We are the Kayamas, and we have been part of this land. The reason why I'm running for mayor is because I went to school. I'm a 13-year graduate of Kamehameha Kapa'alama. I have a bachelor's degree in Hawaiian Studies, and I have a master's in public administration. I've been working for the county for the last 6.5 years, and I've seen most of the faces in the job that I've done, starting from the bottom as a clerk, worked my way up as an examiner, and now I oversee the division. Through that process, I've seen a lot. I've learned a lot. I've learned about the organization, how the organization works, who the players are, how things move. It's been an interesting process. I oversee my division's budget, so I understand the money aspects of it. I understand what it takes to project for it, to plan for it. But more so, the reason why, and I'm so thankful to be here tonight, this community that we're in, Waimea, it's such a tight-knit community, and it's not just here. We're so intertwined and connected. Kohala, Hamakua, you have Honoka'a, Powilo, Lapohoi. We're all ingrained with each other. And what makes this area so special? It is our community. It is who we are and what we are that has allowed us to be as successful and as fruitful and as supportive of initiatives here. One of the things that I like to see as Hawaii County Mayor is more initiatives in promoting local business, in creating jobs for our local people to stay closer to home so we're not having to travel so far away. Yes, to have access not just to retail jobs and not just to hotel travel management industry, but the promotion of STEM jobs. So science, technology, we're talking about engineering and math. These are jobs that are really going to be fruitful for our young people, for the kids coming up, for those who are just coming out of college, to be able to stay home here in Hawaii and let that be an option. Most STEM jobs, if you folks don't know, start off at an average pay of $85,000. That's a nice cushion for our kids to pay for their college education or student loans, but also to be able to start a family if they so choose to be able to stay here in Hawaii. It's also about sustainability. So this area has been so successful in keeping sustainability a part of the thread of our community. And it's important that we continue to do that we continue to promote it, but we continue to work together to expand it. We have lots of area and land that's been sitting dormant because of sugar that we can repurpose for energy purposes as well as for food sources. I look forward to meeting you folks shortly. Thank you. Ohiho.
Thank you, Ms. McCandless. And now we have mayor candidate Harry Kim.
Thank you very much. Believe it or not, before I came here, my wife said, please don't tell them about yourself. they're gonna think you're the most boring son of a gun in the world. So just to make her mad, I'm gonna tell you. What she's talking about really is a joke, but not a joke. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't bowl, I don't golf, etc., etc., etc. And people say, you must be the most boring son of a gun in the world. And maybe I am, but I tell you, it is a life of work, and it's not for a bleeding heart. For those of you who are our generation, that's all we did, just work. I promise you, in regards to being elected as your mayor, if you gift me with that job, you will find someone who will work. In regards to experience for that, I think my past job speaks for itself. I ask you to make your judgment based on work past. Please look at my work record in regard to the director of the Law Enforcement Assistance Agency here for the whole island. Look at my job performance in regards to Civil Defense Administrator for the whole island for 24 years and your mayor for 8 years on this island again. Back there are brochures, and because of the one-man type of campaign, those are just simple handouts that has been made. I guarantee you that before anything was printed on that, information was checked and double-checked, and most of the things, if not all of the things there, are on record because they're of government functions and, you know, government paperwork. So if you want to verify any of information on that, it's very easy to find out through the county government. In regards to priorities, the past few days I've talked to several people in regards to small meetings. And nothing has really changed as far as certain kind of problems, except it got worse. Over 20 years ago, I was asked again in an interview, not as a political candidate, but just as a person, what do I consider the biggest problem facing the island of Hawaii? Just 4 years ago, I was asked by the television station on news that they were going to give me 30 seconds and they were going to ask me one question. What do I consider the biggest problem facing the island of Hawaii and the state of Hawaii? Both times the answers came the same. The growing gap between the haves and the have-nots. This is not a problem just for the homeless. This is a problem for the entire community to face up to and see what we can do of every single issue. In regards to what I consider as priority to address those things, it is obviously those things directed towards shelters and those direct programs. But I am very, very concerned about our tax base and how much that we pay for tax, and that has to be addressed. All of those things that takes money out of your pocket must be addressed to see how we can be more prudent in how we spend your money. Thank you very much for this opportunity.